You've probably been told your anger is the problem, that it's keeping you stuck, that you need to let it go, move on, forgive, and forget. Quick question. Who was the first person to tell you your anger was too much? Because I'd bet good money it wasn't a stranger. Welcome back to the mechanics of toxic relationships. Today we're talking about anger, not managing it, not releasing it, not channeling it into a morning run. The actual mechanics of what it is, where it came from, and why it's still fucking there. Because here's what I keep seeing. Survivor after survivor walking out of a toxic relationship, out of a dynamic with a covert narcissist, and carrying two things. The damage from the relationship itself. And then a second layer of shame because they're still furious about it. Like they've read the books, done the journaling, maybe gone to therapy, and they're still angry. And somewhere along the way, someone told them the anger was the problem. That's not weakness. That's not dysfunction. That's someone who's been handed the wrong map. Let's break this shit down. What anger actually is. Let's start with the biology, because this is where everyone gets it backwards. Your body has an immune system. When something foreign gets in, a virus, bacteria, something that shouldn't be there, your immune system fires. You get a fever, inflammation, your body goes to war. Nobody tells you to suppress your immune response. Anger is the psychological version of that. It's the part of you that registers that should not have fucking happened. That's the entire function, and not aggression, not instability, not a red flag in your personality. A signal. When you were in that relationship, something was getting in that shouldn't have been there. The lies, the manipulation, the constant reframing of reality, the moments where you said, this isn't right, and were told you were imagining it. Your anger was trying to tell you that the entire time, and you were taught directly or indirectly to shut it down. That's not you being emotionally immature. That's not you holding on to the past. That's what happens when someone spends months or years teaching you that your own immune response is a character flaw. That's not instability. That's conditioning. There's a fucking difference. How it got suppressed. Inside the relationship, your anger was dangerous. Not to you, to them. A narcissist, particularly a covert narcissist, operates on control. Real anger threatens that control because anger says, I see what you're doing. Anger says, this isn't okay. Anger is the thing that walks out the door, so it had to go. And it didn't go through one dramatic moment, it went through 100 small ones. You'd get angry about something real. A lie, a dismissal, a betrayal, and it would get turned around. Suddenly, you were the problem. You were too sensitive. You were attacking them. You were always negative. The argument that started about their behavior ended with you apologizing for your reaction to it, which is fucking insane when you actually say it out loud. 1, you learned that anger leads to punishment. 2, you learned that your anger is always disproportionate. 3, you learned that expressing it costs more than swallowing it. That's not a lesson about emotional regulation. That's an installation. They built a circuit that runs like this. Feel anger to suppress anger, to apologize for feeling it. That circuit is still running. That's why you feel guilty for still being angry now that you're out. The relationship is over. The programming isn't. That's not you being stuck. And that's you running software that was installed without your consent. And that is some proper psychological bullshit. Why forgiveness first is backwards. Every few weeks, someone sends me a message that goes something like, I know I should forgive them. I just can't stop being angry. And the framing in that sentence is doing a lot of damage. I should forgive them. Should, according to who? Because the people pushing forgiveness the hardest are usually people who haven't dealt with actual targeted abuse. They're thinking about a bad breakup or a falling out with a mate. They're not thinking about a relationship where someone spent 2 years systematically dismantling your sense of reality. Here's the actual mechanic. Forgiveness, real forgiveness, not the performed kind, is something that happens after you've processed what occurred, after you understand the mechanism, after you've named what was done and why it worked on you specifically. Telling someone to forgive before they've done that work is like prescribing immunosuppressants to someone who still has the infection. You're not healing them. You're just making them easier to reinfect. And fuck that. The anger is not the barrier to healing. The anger is pointing at what still needs to be processed. It's telling you what hasn't been named yet. A boundary that only works one way isn't a boundary. It's a fence around a throne. And forgiveness that's demanded before understanding, that's not healing. That's suppression with better branding. You don't owe anyone a performance of peace you haven't actually arrived at. If this is landing for you, subscribe. I put out long-form breakdowns like this every week. No therapy speak, just the actual mechanics of how this stuff works. What to do with it. So, what do you actually do with the anger? First, stop treating it like something to be eliminated. It needs to be listened to. Your anger is information. It's pointing at specific things, specific moments, specific betrayals that your conscious mind has filed and moved on from, but your nervous system hasn't finished processing. When it comes up, instead of suppressing it or feeling guilty about it, get curious. What specifically triggered it? What does that moment remind you of? What is it still trying to tell you? Because anger is rarely random. It usually knows exactly where the bodies are buried. Second, let the anger do its actual job. Its job is recognition. That should not have happened. Just let it say that. You don't have to act on it. You don't have to send the message or confront anyone or blow up your recovery. Just let the recognition land. Because that recognition, that clear-eyed, unflinching acknowledgement that something wrong was done, is the beginning of the process, not the obstacle to it. Third, understand that the anger diminishes naturally once it's been heard, not when it's been suppressed, not when you've performed forgiveness for an audience, when it's been heard, when the mechanism has been understood, when you can look at what happened and say clearly without guilt, that was wrong. That was done to me, and I didn't deserve it. Patterns are the truth wearing work boots. Your anger is a pattern. It's telling you something real. You don't have to be angry forever, but you do have to let it finish speaking before you tell it to shut up. Because if you keep telling your anger to shut up before you understand what it is saying, you're doing their fucking job for them. So to bring it back to where we started, you've been told your anger is the problem, that it's keeping you stuck, that the path forward is forgiveness and release and letting go. Here's what the mechanics actually say. Your anger showed up because something was wrong. It was suppressed inside the relationship because it threatened the control of someone who needed that control to function. It's still running now because the circuit that was installed is still active. That's not you being broken. That's not you being unable to move on. That's your immune response doing exactly what it was built to do. That's not weakness. That's your system working. And maybe the most healing thing you can do is stop treating that anger like an enemy and start asking what the fuck it has been trying to protect you from. Until next time, take care of yourself. This has been The Mechanics of Toxic Relationships. I'm Daniel Harper.